G'day and welcome to Foord Offroad. In this video I'm working on my Toyota Hilux. I'm going to do an auto trans service and show you all how to do that. So what you're going to need for this is obviously an auto trans service filter kit. This is a Repco kit. That's part number for a N70 Hilux if anyone wants it. Comes with a new filter and a new sump gasket because you have to actually take the sump off. And some auto trans fluid. They come in 1 litres, 4 litres or 20 litres. Most cars will take between 4 to 5 litres. And you're going to need a car to do it on, otherwise all that shit's pointless. First step in doing your auto service is going to be remove the bash plate if you have one. Not every car has a transmission bash plate from factory. If you don't have a bash plate that covers the transmission and you go full driving a lot, I highly recommend getting one, because that's only thin sheet metal. These Hiluxes actually have a sump plug, which is very handy because most autos you just have to take the whole pan off and you get completely covered in oil. Anyway, 14 mil. Make sure you have a drain container ready. Just drop that. You're better off to do a auto trans service while your car is cold as well. Just wait for that to drain. It's pretty dirty. Auto trans service on these Hiluxes. This is a 2007 N70 series with the 1KD engine. You use a 100,000 K interval for the auto trans service. Even if you check it and the fluid looks clean, 100,000 Ks, give it an auto service and just make it last. Now that's drained, sump plug back in with the washer. Don't forget the washer or it'll leak. Heaps of 10 mils around the outside. Take all of them off. I'm going to drop this down so we can get to the filter. Ugga dugga tools help and just make it quicker. And it's going to be a little bit stuck because the tube for the dipstick has an O-ring on it that goes up, so that's going to be the little thing that'll snag on it. Just give it a pull, bring that down. That's pretty dirty oil. It's supposed to be red and it's pretty dark. If you've just been for a drive or if the car's hot, the fluid's been getting flushed around the whole transmission, then this is going to drip for ages. So it's kind of only coming from the bit that was actually submerged in oil. It's going to be dripping from absolutely everywhere if the engine's hot, like if it's been driving. So some more 10 mils to take the filter off. Don't get these ones mixed up with the ones that hold don't put them in the same pile. It's longer. The ones that hold the sump on are shorter. Try to drop them in your oil too, because it sucks having to fish them out. Now that I've said that, I'm guaranteed to do it. Got all them off. This should just pop down. And we'll get some more fluid. Let's leave that drain for a sec. Give the sealing surface a wipe. These don't need any silicone when you put the new gasket on because it's a cork gasket. And you shouldn't put silicone on cork gaskets, they seal perfectly fine by themselves. Just wipe everything. You might be concerned that there's little pieces of metal in your sump, those little squares, but just clean them off, put them back in, because what they actually are is little magnets that catch any little metal fragments. They're in your oil, so they're not going back through your auto and destroying it. So pick them out, clean them, don't lose them, make sure they go back in. Completely wipe and clean the sump. Remove the gasket. I'm ready to put it back on once I put the new filter on. Once you've got it nice and clean, chuck the little magnets back in the spots where they go. Most auto sumps will have little cutouts for them, so little squares. If they don't, then it means it doesn't matter where it goes, so just chuck it in. Gasket ready. Make sure your gasket is actually got the same bolt pattern on it, because that would suck. I know when you do a Commodore there's like 5 different types, sometimes you get the wrong one. That looks like it's good. Cork gaskets don't need any silicone, they'll crush and make a sealing surface, so don't worry about putting any silicone on it. Back under the vehicle with the new filter. Just give everything one more wipe because it's been dripping while I've been doing that. These 3 bits, 1, 2, 3, is where the 3 cork bits on the new filter will bolt up to. So put the bolts, no sealant, don't need sealant. Just hold it there. Put the bolts back in the right holes. There's 2 longer ones and 2 shorter ones. These are the longer ones and those are the shorter ones. If you're going to use the impact or something to do them back up, make sure you set it pretty slow and then check it with a normal ratchet after. These do have a specific torque setting, but just do them firm. They don't not have to be tight. If you over tighten them you will snap them. They're only little 10 mils. Just firm. And now we will put the auto sump back on. Got to feed it back in. So this bit has to go on the dipstick tube. That's the bit that is hard to line up. Then you've got to get all the little holes in the sump gasket in the right spot. If you get one in the right spot, the others kind of have to go into the right spot. You start a couple by hand, one in each corner to one. Once again, if you do feel like using a impact or something, make sure you set it to slow, and then check that they're all pretty firm afterwards. So once you're happy under the car that everything's done up, there is a torque setting for those. It's probably like 12 or 14 Newton meters or something. Just do them up firm, don't snap them. Once you got that on, come in the engine bay, remove the auto trans dipstick. If you have a little pump or a little pump bottle or something, this is a lot easier to fill up because you actually have to fill it up through the dipstick hole. So you get a little funnel with a hose on it that I've just made. Poke it in there. Yeah, bottle of this. Multi-vehicle, full synthetic, auto trans fluid. And this is going to take ages. Start the vehicle and run through the gears. Save it a bit in park. Reverse. Just go back a bit. Neutral. Drive. level with it in neutral or park and the engine running. Right in the middle of the cold level mark, which is a good spot for it to be. I just want to add a little bit more, and then I'll check it again with the engine running and in neutral again. And then after you've been for the first drive, and you don't have to go for a drive straight away. If it's at the right level on cold, it's going to be at the right level on hot. But when you get back from your first, once the engine's at temperature and the auto's been getting used, just check it again and top it up if you need to. So that's how to service the automatic transmission in a Toyota Hilux. This is a 2007 N70 series. So that procedure will be the same for pretty much every auto in a four-wheel drive, as well as a Commodore or a Falcon. The Hilux is good in that it actually has a drain plug in the auto sump. Most you have to take the whole sump off in order to drain the fluid, which you have to take it off anyway to change the filter, but it's a bit cleaner doing it with a sump. So make sure that your engine is running and in neutral when you check the level, otherwise it will be wrong. Once you've gone for your first drive and it's warmed up, check that it's within the hot marks, but I mean, if it was in the cold marks, it has to be in the hot marks, doesn't it? Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Check out Foord Offroad on Instagram, and keep an eye on my channel for whatever new stuff I get up to. Okay, this has taken a fair while. It's been like 5 minutes and I've put like 1.25 liters in there. If you don't have a pump, buy a pump. I do have a pump, but like all of my good tools, it is at work. So just keep going this way, eventually it'll get full.